every year you keep coming up with a new project and product. Just tease your audience, your customer, with what else to expect from Lofts.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things coming out on the vCluster side, on the DevPod side as well. I think for vCluster in particular, we're seeing vCluster just become more ubiquitous than ever. One of the things that we realized is, managing a virtual cluster needs to be as easy as possible, right? You got to have that peace of mind that you can just spin up a vCluster and it is running, it is resilient, right? And then you're going to start putting it in more and more places. So one of the things that I'm particularly very excited about is putting the state of a virtual cluster into an external database. Because right now, when you spin up a vCluster, it's using SQLite by default, and then it can use etcd, whether it's embedded etcd or an externally running etcd cluster. But SQLite is an embedded database, so there's definitely some limits. It's a single file database, right? So you can scale that up very, very much, right? etcd obviously much more scalable, but also had a lot more work, right? So it's really nice to say, hey, I put my data into a MySQL or Postgres database, because we've done that for years and years and years, right? Companies have very resilient ways to run a SQL database at scale. Back it up, snapshot it, roll it back, right? Do schema migrations, right? There's so many things. So if you're putting this into like an RDS in AWS, you can have it globally distributed, completely high available, backed up, right? Not a lot of things can go wrong with that. And having that as the backend for vCluster is really exciting. That's something we shipped earlier this year. And we now, actually just with this release yesterday, we announced that you can now also connect your RDS server to the platform, and it will provision databases for each vCluster you spin up. With limited credentials, very secure. It cleans up the databases if you would like it to do that. And for us, we really just want to take out the friction of running a virtual cluster for mission critical workloads. So we're investing a lot in that area right now.